do. Because I'm happy. Come on, if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Come along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Come along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Come along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, love is too high. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, I said, cause I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, hey, hey. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Hello, welcome.
It might seem crazy.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome. Hi, everyone. How are you? So, Deepta, were you reminded of some memories of coastal Karnataka?
Yeah.
This was a happy Udupi song.
Oh.
That is why I chose it specifically, because our topic is how
Happiness.
can we create happiness for ourselves and everyone. So
Nice.
I welcome everyone to this mastermind. And before I start, I would just lay down the ground rules, since we have decided that we'll stick to the timing, which is 1 hour for the mastermind session. So once I've given you the background, thereafter I'll invite every speaker to give out their points. For everyone will get about 2 minutes each. And so once everybody has spoken, or any queries, any additional points that you have, you can keep noting down, or on a piece of paper, or you can even put this into the chat box. And once everyone has finished, then we'll just go have a brainstorming session on those particular points. And if we have more time, then everybody will get one more chance. So that is how we will go about this particular session. So before I start, I'll just repeat what was the agenda of today's mastermind session. Can anybody give out what was the agenda if you have gone through the message posted by Priyanka?
Yeah, I can say.
Yeah, Atan, please.
What happiness means to you?
Yes.
Is being happy a matter of choice? Is your happiness controlled by others?
Mm-hmm.
How can you create happy moments for those who matters to you? Tips to remain happy and content during adverse situations.
Thank you, Atan. Amazing. So I think all of you are ready and prepared, and all of you are in the happy state of mind, firstly. And especially Chakradhar and Purnima and Rahul would be extra happy because they attended the HNP event also yesterday. Only person missing is our Shri. Okay, so let's start with our first question of the day. What does happiness mean to you? So we can, anybody would like to take on this, take on the lead? Yeah, you can just raise your hand so that I can spotlight you.
We'll start with Surjit sir.
Okay, Dada, by popular जनता की क्या कहते हैं demand के ऊपर start the inauguration. What does happiness mean to you? You are muted. Please unmute yourself. And
the big smile you see on my face. Happiness actually means 100% inner connect to me.
Okay. Yeah. And okay, Sejal, please unmute yourself.
happiness is know, when you see a smile on some other's face, and it gives you that inner connect, inner peace. So that is real happiness for me. कि आप किसी को आपकी वजह से कोई खुश है.
Thank you. What about you, Roma?
Yeah, please unmute.
Yeah. So for me, it is mental peace, and as she said, helping to hai, but mental peace and contentment is more important for me as far as happiness is concerned. Helping others is there. Thank
Good.
you.
What about you, Deepta?
Whenever I help people in understanding the health, and when they get it, when they understand and follow, and they send me a message that thank you, that is the real happiness for me.
That's great. What about Chakradhar?
For me, happiness is if I am teaching something and people are liking it, understanding it, and actually is there what I should say, they're getting that benefit which I'm planning, or I'm actually there to give it to them. So I feel happy. That containment or whatever you say to that thing, that is the happiness for me.
Very nice. What about you, Purnima? What does happiness mean to you?
Happiness means a lot for me. जब भी कोई छोटा बच्चा मतलब मुस्कुराता है, उसे खुश होता है होके देखता है, तो मुझे बहुत ही खुशी होती है. That is really happiness. When you all मतलब सब बोलते हैं कि या पूर्णिमा you done this, तो मुझे इतनी अच्छी feelings होती है. Wow, thanks to all of you. कि ये जो हैप्पीनेस है, मतलब किसी का कोई भी काम करके दो, किसी को कुछ भी करके दो, और वो जो छोटी छोटी जो खुशियां आती है, उससे मुझे बहुत खुशी मिलती है. एंड समटाइम्स यू नो आई हैव द जोक्स विद द फ्रेंड्स वेयर द हैप्पीनेस कम्स फ्रॉम देम. मतलब आप सब कुछ भूल जाते हैं अपनी लाइफ में, एंजॉय करने लग जाते हैं, ये भूल जाते हैं कि क्या हुआ क्या है. एंड व्हेनेवर यू कम्स टू दैट प्रेजेंट नो, तो वो मेरे लिए हैप्पीनेस है. The real truly that comes from heart, that is the happiness. The true everywhere the happiness is there for me.
Very nice. What about you, Atan?
Yeah, for me, happiness is when I am in silence. That time I am happy. Like that time we live in age, very easy age in age. So that is the happiness for me.
Very nice. Rahul?
Happiness for me is like connecting with people, and especially with family.
Okay.
Near and dear ones.
Priyanka?
Only two things. First is conscious living, and second is inward connection, as Surjit has said.
That's very nice. So as we have seen from each other, everybody has his or her own what I would say sense of happiness. It is a way it brings smile to your face or the faces of others in your family. And I also resonate with Roma when she said happiness and contentment are interrelated. For me also, when you do your work, and when you get appreciation from somebody who you don't even know, or people who remember you later and appreciate you to a third person, and the third person comes back to you and tells you this is, or wherever you can get a sense of achievement in whatever you have done, that brings you an immense amount of happiness. So this was one part. Now another thing I want to ask you is happiness, is it related to your mental happiness and physical happiness? Are they interrelated, or are they different? Chakradhar?
For me, it is related. Sorry.
Okay,
For me also, sir, it is interrelated.
So what is the connection between the two?
There's means if I am happy from inside, it can be seen in my gestures and everything. One can find that I'm happy. From inside and outside also.
What about you, Purnima? Yeah, no, sorry, Purnima already conveyed her message. What about you, Deepta? What do you think? Are they interrelated, and how?
Yeah, even I feel the same like Chakra there. So whenever you are happy within, it will be shown up with your physical activities too. So both are connected.
Okay. And what do you feel about it, Atan?
Yeah, it is interconnected, because when I am not like physically I am discomfort, that time mentally also I get discomfort. As well as if I am means edge inside, means I am happy inside, then it reflect in my physical
Okay.
physiology also.
So we are all on the same page as far as connection between your happiness, in mental happiness and outside thing. But one is you feel this when it comes from inside and it is reflected around you. Anything else to it, Dada? Yeah, we are all on the same page on this part. That's very nice. So that brings me to the next question. Is being happy a matter of choice, or can happiness be forced upon somebody, or no? What do you say about it?
It's a matter of
It's a
choice.
matter of choice.
Matter of choice.
Individual choice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Priyanka. So can you give an example?
Myself or Priyanka?
Anybody, volunteers. Okay. Because I think Priyanka is thinking about it, so you can, Chakradhar, you can go ahead.
Sir, I have to. If I have to give an example, I'll give an example of a cricket match. I go play a cricket match, and if I'm losing that match or I'm lost that match, then also it is my choice. I want to be happy or I want to be in a bad mood. So it is always a matter of choice in that case, because that is more closer to my heart. That game of cricket.
Okay, that's nice. So Priyanka, have you come out with some example?
I think day-to-day living, Colonel, it's been reflected like, कुछ भी हो जाता है, somebody is angry, कुछ expectation meet नहीं हुई, so instead of resonating in their frequency, I choose to resonate in mine. Like instead of reactive, I'll be more responsive, understanding. So like it depends on me to remain connected, grounded within myself, rather than losing my temper and shouting at them.
Yeah, Sejal, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, it's like accepting. जब आप सामने वाले को accept कर लेते हो, तो फिर आपको कभी बुरा, I mean, you will never feel sad about it. उसने क्या, okay, that is his parameters. The day we understand that, we will never be unhappy with that person or that anybody in that case. Even in this COVID period, pandemic mein, if you see that everywhere it is sadness. But आप उसको किस नजरिए से देखते हो? How you are taking it? For me, I will say it's a boon. Sorry to say, I mean, not hurting anybody's feelings over here. But मैंने अपना जो भी शुरू किया काम, it is all in this lockdown. I took up this. So of course it's and I am like, okay, this is it. We have to accept it. जो है वो है and आगे बढ़ो. अब रोने से कुछ नहीं होने वाला. So basically, acceptance is the way to happiness.
You are mute, Aditya sir.
Romaji.
Yes, I like to add, happiness is one extreme. One is sadness, then there is a balanced situation, and then there is extreme, that is happiness, when we are very happy. So I feel that, being happy is a choice, but that really needs a monk's mental balance to remain in constant. We have to make an effort. And if as humans we could make humans living with family in different circumstances which are changing every day, we have expectations, so that way अगर हम balance ही रह पाए तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. और happiness है हमारी choice, ऐसी बात नहीं है. It is in our hands, but it is easily said than done. Yes, we think yes today I did it, but out of 24 hours maybe I could do it only for 5 to 7 hours, not all 18 hours awake. Most of the hours we are even not aware that we are not happy. We are so much into our thoughts. So yes, it is a choice, but it needs practice and yes, as humans, it is very easy to get become unstable when you are going through so many things. But yes, it is our choice. But it needs effort, practice, so many things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, Arjun. Yeah, what do you have to say? I'll just repeat for the question again. Firstly, we were talking about happiness. We reached a consensus that happiness and your mental and physical happiness is interrelated. Now we were talking about whether happiness you can choose to be happy, or is it dependent upon the person concerned, or can it be thrust upon the person?
I feel happiness is an emotion within ourselves rather than looking happiness for others.
Okay.
If I want to be happy, I can be happy at any point in life.
Yeah.
If I want to be sad, no matter even if it is whatever the thing is, I can still be sad. It's all within my mind and it's all within me. It's what I strongly believe. And yeah, sometimes what happens, because of expectation, right? No, we always tend to be little sad. Now, if we have very limited expectations, जैसे आप बांटो, कुछ expect मत करो. Giving gives more happiness rather than expecting people to give us. So yeah, this is my thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, Rahul. What are your views? You will have to unmute yourself.
I just appreciated Arjun what he said. Yeah, and I it's like giving is happiness. I believe in that. Then you feel more fulfilled and more happy that way. And expectation most of the time hurts. See.
Okay. So what I understand from what Arjun has said and Rahul has said, at times your happiness as a choice, it will also depend upon what are your expectations from yourself and from others. So that will also have a major role to play in your being happy in all circumstances, or a limited number of circumstances, or maybe momentary events also. And also, I also agree on the point given by Romaji that yes, it is very difficult to be happy 24 hours a day, 24/7. There are moments when you do undergo feelings of sadness, but you, for somebody who is happy 24 hours, he or she would be either a saint, or he would have reached that uppermost spiritual awakening.
Liberation.
Yeah. So do you have anything else to add on to this, Deepta?
Would have reached liberation state, moksha.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Atan? What do you feel about this particular aspect?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, if we are empowered, then we won't get hurt by the situations we go through. As well as, like, if we are like an observer, like as we see, like, we don't take it in ourselves, then we are least happy. That time we can do the best what can be done in that situation. Like, we have the right strategy and right way to deal with the situation. That time, as I am doing my best, whatever possible, I am not quite whatever happening, that is not in my hand.
Okay. What about Surajit Dada? What do you have to say on this? Yeah. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I think what Roma was saying essentially, I think, is right, that if you're alert, you can choose to be happy. I mean, and as I was saying last week also, you can have challenges, which COVID is a challenge, but you don't have to convert it into suffering.
Absolutely.
And you can choose to be calm, if not happy. And if you are alert, you will know that now I'm getting into unhappiness. So let me switch. Let me break this narrative and return to my connect, which will be calm. If you can be calm, if you don't have to be happy all the time, you don't have to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
You can be calm and relaxed and connected and joyful.
So, do you all agree that there would be different states of happiness also? Like, it may not be necessarily that you will be in the top state of happiness. You may be in a, even if you are in a lower state of happiness, or it will all depend upon your mental makeup. Yeah, Purnima. Yes.
Yeah, I would like to add in Surajit Dada that if you are in the joy status, that is only happiness. लेकिन कुछ लोगों को पता ही नहीं होता कि happiness क्या है. लोग ना बड़ी बड़ी खुशियों में ढूंढने निकलते कि चलो आज मेरी बुक लॉन्च होगी तब जाके मैं बहुत खुश होगा, तब तक मैं खुश ही नहीं रहूंगा। ओके, सो दिस इज द थिंकिंग। लेकिन उसके सामने जो उनका छोटा बच्चा जब खुश होके आता है तो उनको ये फीलिंग नहीं आती कि चलो यार मुझे खुश है, अरे तू हट जाओ यार, मेरे को बुक लिखनी है, फिर जाके हम जब बुक रिलीज होगी तब जाके खुश होंगे, या फिर कोई बड़ा अवार्ड अचीव करेंगे तब जाके खुश होंगे, या कुछ ऐसा बड़ी चीजें होगी तब जाके खुश होंगे। सो पीपल डोंट नो व्हाट इज हैप्पीनेस इन रियलिटी।
Yeah. So what I understand from Purnima's point is कि to be happy in that particular moment is more important than looking for कि जब होगा तब happy होंगे. That will also depend a lot upon your state of happiness or being happy all the time or most of the time. I would say, if not all the time, most of the time you can be in a happy state if you accept what is happening around you, and you also you condition your mind to accept the things what are happening and take out the positive from every situation. Is that correct? Okay, so now let's move on to the next point. Athan, can you just repeat what was the next point? Which is related to first was your first key is being happy a matter of choice. Second, intercorrect. Is your happiness controlled by others, or can it be controlled by others?
Yes.
Sometimes, once in a while, or most of the time. Again, they both are very, very interlinked. Yeah, Deepta, you were saying something.
Yes, sometimes it is because we are in the learning stage. Where actually all are here actually we all are sailing in almost similar boat, that we are uplifting ourselves in the spiritual field. So as we are uplifting, sometimes you are controlled by others, other people around us. When they show us a reaction, because of that reaction our emotions get disturbed, and our happiness will be disturbed. After that, because of our knowledge, we have studied, we have learned, we have our tools. When we apply that, we can change that mode at the earliest.
Okay. Yeah, Arjun, would you like
I disagree.
Illustrate with an example, practical example.
I disagree to what Deepta says. The reason is, as I told you, happiness is within ourselves, right? And the example what Deepta gave was lack of awareness.
Okay.
Right? It was because of my lack of awareness, the other people was able to influence me. Right? If I am aware of what things are happening around me, if I am whatever news comes up, let's take an example. Like, हमारे न्यूज में क्या होता है आजकल? न्यूज में सिर्फ यही आता है कि कितने लोग मरे, and what they show, there are around 5 or 6 people who are dead. They keep telecasting these 5 people death throughout the day. 24 hours सबने उतना ही देखा. But what is the total number? Only 5 people dead, right?
Yeah.
24 into 5 नहीं हुआ ना वो. So we have to go back and look at the actual statistics and see what has happened. What is the percentage of people dying? Now, if I am not knowledgeable enough to go back and look at the numbers, these newses can influence me. It can hurt my emotions. It can bring in more sadness in me. So I feel it is up to me on how I take things. जो भी news आया, I'll take a pause. I'll look at what the actual numbers are, understand what the facts are, and then I can react to it.
Okay, so that was one point of view which was given by Arjun. Chakradhar, you had a point to make. Yes.
I want to add in this कि like आपको maturity आती है, happiness भी उसी तरीके से. Happiness भी आप वो level पे तभी पहुंचते हो जब happiness का actual meaning समझते हो. Like दीप्ता ने बोला कि हमको दूसरे लोग क्यों affect कर पाते हैं? दूसरे लोग इसलिए affect कर पाते हैं क्योंकि हमारी expectation रहती है. Like if I have to give an example, हमने रोनी मुंद्रा का कोर्स लिया. मैंने खुद सिद्धार्थ राजशेखर का कोर्स किया हुआ है. तो एट दैट टाइम आई वाज लाइक कि अभी तो मैं सुपरमैन हो गया, अभी तो कल से मैं सीधा आसमान में और कहीं पे भी चले जाऊंगा और कुछ भी कर लूंगा. व्हेन एक्चुअल रियलिटी पता चली कि हाँ यार ये तो कुछ नहीं है, करना तो अपने को ही है. ये लोग भले अपने को सारे टूल्स देते, यू ओनली हैव टू डू इट. तो इनिशियली यू आर इन दैट स्टेट ऑफ माइंड. नाउ यू आर कंटेंट, यार आप करना अपने को है, तो हैप्पी भी खुद ही रहना है, सब कुछ करके कोर्स को आगे भी लेके जाना है. तो नाउ आई एम मैच्योर्ड इनफ टू बिकम हैप्पी. अर्लियर आई वाज नॉट हैप्पी, आई वाज quite sad कि यार क्यों बाय कर दिया, क्यों इतने सब कर लिए. But then now I am happy and I'm becoming happier day by day.
Because you are in awareness.
Yeah, Sejal,
Yeah.
Sejal, you had raised your hand. Yeah, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I 100% I second what Arjun said, that it is within us. It's not, it's just because there is, we are not in awareness. The moment you are into that awareness state, आप अपने आप खुश हो जाओगे. It's like हम लोग क्या करते हैं ना, what we do. Purnima is aware of this example कि हम लोग उस हिरन की तरह, जो अपनी कस्तूरी बाहर ढूंढ रहा है, बट कस्तूरी है कहाँ, अंदर है. Which we don't do that. हम लोग भी वही कर रहे हैं, उसी हिरन की तरह भागे जा रहे हैं, किसी के साथ कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं, either by person or by material things, anything. Even with the kid, आज मैं अपनी बच्ची के साथ अपनी खुशी कनेक्ट कर रही हूँ, but that's not the right way. Happiness मुझे उसके अंदर नहीं ढूंढनी है. मैं खुश रहूंगी ना तो ऑटोमेटिक मेरी बेटी भी खुशी रहेगी. So उसको देख के ऑटोमेटिक वो indirectly, it's a circle. It will come back to me. I'll be happy. But हम लोग करते हैं, वो कस्तूरी को ढूंढते रहते हैं बाहर, किसी ना किसी के साथ जोड़ देते हैं. आज मेरी बेटी ये करेगी तो I'll be happy. आज ये तो ये, मेरा हस्बैंड ये करेगा तो हैप्पी. ऐसा नहीं होता है. हैप्पीनेस तो यहाँ है, अपने ऊपर भी ढूंढना है.
Thank you, Sejal. Thank you. Yeah, Purnima, you had a point to make.
I already said that awareness should be there, and you should know that where you have to be happy. Don't go for the big things in the life. Be in aware and be live in the joy status. अगर आप joyful रहेंगे तो वो ही happiness है. There is nothing the perfect वो नहीं है, formula नहीं है happiness के लिए.
Absolutely.
There is no perfect formula for happiness.
Okay, thank you, Purnima. Yeah, Romaji.
My perspective was a little, what the point I want to make is a little different, that our happiness, as you were, the question is that whether it is affected by others or not. So my point is, when you are attached to somebody,
Romaji, not affected, controlled by others.
Huh?
Controlled by others.
Is controlled by others.
Yeah.
So it can be controlled. No, it cannot be controlled. I was thinking affected. Their attachment comes. If you are attached, let's say I can keep myself happy, but if my child is unhappy, uska kuch bhi aisa hua, so I'll be feel. So I was thinking it otherwise. Yes, then it's different.
Yeah, Deepta.
I agree. Nothing.
Thank you, Romaji. Yeah, Deepta.
Okay. Now let me explain an example now.
Yes.
So how it will happen.
Okay.
See, I am, as you all know, that I'm traditional acupuncturist and I'm treating people from 6 years. So last month or 2 months back, what happened? A person, that lady has a lot of doubts. Okay. So Aditya sir is can I take some time and explain, or if at all?
I would request if you can summarize in 2 minutes.
Yeah. So what happens? She was having a lot of questions. Whatever I was explaining her, the point she was not getting about the diseases, and she was always believing in the lab reports, and she used to connect with the same question, and again the next every week whenever she comes for sitting, she used to connect with the same questions.
Okay.
So when I started ignoring the question and answering her the next question, so she was getting angry with that. After that session, she messaged me saying a lot many things.
Okay.
About the way I am, I deal with the people and things, all this. Okay. So at that particular moment, even I understand that it's my choice of happiness. But because of that message, for some time, my happiness was controlled by her. This is what I meant.
Okay.
So in the same way, there are situations in your home. Absolutely, you have that control. That is your choice. But you have to learn to take that as your choice.
Yeah.
That is the gap which we are in the stage of learning. That's what I meant. Okay.
So if I can rephrase, or if I connect to your point with what Romaji had made, your happiness might get affected for a moment by the action or reaction of the other person, but control is still in your hand. Whether you want to get affected or do not want to get affected. Is that correct?
and for some period of time,
yes, because
you
we
will
are all
not have
human
that
beings. So since we are all human beings, we will get affected. Yeah, Priyanka. Finally, yes, Priyanka.
I guess by constant hurts and these learning, we will get in that phase of being controlled and complete. I think we are, as Dita said, learning phase, no, getting hurt and then getting back, resilience, Amaji said. So like we are getting back, getting hurted, getting back, learning.
So if I say that there would be moments in our life wherein our happiness would definitely be affected by people around us. It could be within your immediate family or within your environment. And at times what we'll also find that we will feel happy by the happiness of others around us. Like for example, if your child does well in his exam, he is happy, you are happy. And most of like Suriji Da and Romaji would agree, whenever anybody close to you or in your community, like our community, we take it here, anybody doing well in his or her field, all of us feel happy. So that way our happiness is affected by the happiness of the other person. And similarly, if somebody is not in a low mood, that time also we also feel concerned. Why is it? So that momentary thing does affect you, but still again it depends from person to person. How it will all depend upon your age, experience, and your and the environment in which you have brought in, and or the people around you. How much does it affect you? But it may not be affecting drastically, but it will definitely have a little bit of effect. Control will still be in the person's hand, like Arjun mentioned. Ultimately, it is in my hand whether how much do I want to be affected by other person's feeling of happiness or sadness, whatever it is. And because if I am in control of myself, then I would be able to help that other person to upgrade himself or herself from that lower state into a higher state. Is that correct? Yeah, Dada. Yes, Srijita.
Yes, absolutely. It is correct.
Srijita, you are on mute.
As usual. So it stopped raining, so I've come down.
Wow.
I feel it is, external world and internal world. It's a mix of, I mean, if you are more into the internal world, the less you will get controlled or affected by others.
Absolutely, yeah.
Happy or sad, even if someone else is happy, if you are almost 100 internally, you're always going to be joyful. So
absolutely.
It will not really add to your happiness or unhappiness. Mm-hmm. But if you are more in the external world of people and things and all, then you will get affected very easily or controlled very easily by the externalities.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, Rahul, anything to add from your point?
Yeah, I don't know, means like I'm very much agree with this awareness and non-awareness, but I will give simple example. Suppose I spent a lot of time away from my family, means like in last 5 years, almost 3.5 years, or more, maybe 4 years I spent away from them. So just giving example, I'm talking with wife on video call. So there might be serious subject, not serious subject, normal talking. And I asked her to give mobile to my daughter. So suddenly my face expression changes. Yeah. And it happens always. It's not like sometimes. Even sometimes she's crying, my daughter is crying or she's upset. But obviously, when after seeing her face, I will get happy. The expression changes. Even my wife भी कहती है कि मुझे देख के तो तुम्हारे चेहरे पे ऐसी रौनक नहीं आती कभी, सिर्फ उसको देख के ही आती है. So I don't know about all those things about awareness and all that's controlled by others, but this is always happens, and in future also I don't think this will change. And in this way, it's like I think it is controlled by many things are controlled by others, but yeah, we need to take care of few things ourselves.
So if I Rahul, if I reword what you're saying, instead of control, we will say ki effect word would be more appropriate, because ultimately reaction or your feeling is still in your hand only.
Mm-hmm.
Is that will that be correct? Yeah.
Attachment.
Yeah, attachment. Yes, attachment is the right word, maybe.
Yeah, Arjun wanted to say something.
No,
Yeah.
no. I was looking at Ronak on the Chakradar's face when his son came there.
Okay. Fine.
Most men will agree with me.
Yeah. Atan, you have been quiet for some time. What are your views on this point? What Rahul made, or overall, whatever we had discussed about the control/effect of others on our happiness.
Yeah, I would agree. Like as sometime Priyanka was saying, like constant if somewhere violence environment or constant kind of things, right? That time definitely it will impact. But the way we are empowered, the way we learn, like staying in a observable state or like inner connected, as we say, and we see the whole picture, like how things are going on, why somebody is like doing such or such, then that time it won't get we won't get much impacted as we learn. But it is not impacted by others, but it is not affect like controlled by others, but it impacts as long as based on our maturity level.
Okay, thank you, Atan. Yeah, Romaji, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I just wanted to add, the word attachment. I said, पहले लोग जो थे वो मतलब मोक्ष बाहर घर परिवार से छोड़ के चले जाते थे. So there it was more easy to balance yourself. When you are in grasta, then it is very difficult. Like, Janak, my mother used to say कि Janak was the one person, he was considered to be a person of highest level of, what to say, the monk-like qualities, because despite being in family, he was that balanced. अदरवाइज इसीलिए कि अटैचमेंट्स जितने कम होंगे उतना हमारे लिए उससे अफेक्ट होना या कोई हमको कंट्रोल करे वो मुश्किल होगा. कोई मुझे नेगेटिवली दुखी करना चाहता है तो मैं उसको कंट्रोल कर सकती हूँ. लेट्स एनी ऑफ माय कलीग्स और समथिंग. बट इफ आई सी समबडी पुअर एंड हेल्पलेस एंड आई एम नॉट एबल टू हेल्प, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसमें वहां पे मेरा डिफेंस लो हो जाता है. वहां पे कहीं ना कहीं इट अफेक्ट्स मी, समथिंग अबाउट माय चाइल्ड, आई फियर समथिंग अबाउट माय चाइल्ड. वो अटैचमेंट से आता है सब कुछ. इसीलिए लोग पहले छोड़ के चले जाते थे इस सब चीज को.
Thank you, Romaji. Usha ji, are you there? Can you come on camera? Hello, Usha ji, are you there?
I think she's aware. Yeah, one thing I wanted to add here, like as you see, like your child is in pain or something, you are aware at that time, right? When you feel them or see them, that time you feel that, and you feel like certain sad. That time your thought
I agree on that point.
Your thought is not involved. That is like not like you are disappear sad. That is like you feel them, empathize them, or you feel the pain. That time, as I said, like thought is not taking over. That time it is not controlled by them. You just feel it, then you come out it. Then again, when you like keep on thinking why I did that, if that repeats for like even 2, 3, 5 minutes or even one day, that is like it is controlled.
Okay, thank you, Atan. So till now, whatever we have discussed on this aspect of happiness, we all agree on one point here. Yes, we are in control of our happiness rather than more than others on our happiness. Secondly, the happiness will also get affected by people who are more close to you. Like Romaji mentioned about that point of attachment. If you're very close, whether you're a child or your spouse or your parents, if they are not in a good state at a particular moment, so that momentary thing would be affected. But yes, still again, how you react or respond to that particular state, you can actually, by your response, you can create, which we'll also discuss in our next point, that will also it will be more of affected rather than control. Yeah, Purnima, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I would like to add कि अगर खुश हम सोचते कि हम खुद हो सकते हैं, that is also not true exactly. Because when you're alone, suppose you are alone, कोई भी नहीं है आपके साथ, तो आप कैसे खुश रह सकते हैं? The happiness comes from कि आपने किसी को हेल्प कर दी तब हैप्पीनेस आती है. आपके घर में कोई पार्टी हो या कुछ फंक्शन हो तब हैप्पीनेस आती है. आप मतलब किसी को ना किसी को तो आपको वो करना ही होगा ना हैप्पीनेस के लिए. ऐसे अकेले तो आप खुश नहीं रह सकते. That is also the thing. अगर आप किसी की हेल्प करते, मतलब ये सब कहते हैं कि ये ओके कि ये अभी एक खुशी है कि मुझे यहाँ से खुशी मिलती है, मुझे यहाँ से अफेक्ट भी होता है इमोशंस को. इट्स ओके, बट हैप्पीनेस के लिए तो कुछ तो जरूरी है. यू नो, वी नीड समथिंग.
Okay, yeah, Priyanka, you want to add?
Purnima, I address this thing as Surjita said, no?
Yeah.
Internal happiness, outward happiness. So let's just segregate this into two.
Yeah.
अकेले रह के भी इंसान खुश रह सकता है. मैं बहुत साल रही हूँ. So that's inward happiness. Outside जब मैं किसी की help करती हूँ, that is so like रह सकते हैं.
So I would also like the point which Rahul was making when he was saying when he was in Bano. Right now he wants to leave. He's staying with his family. But otherwise, like I have gone through those moments more frequently than anybody else because it was part of my profession. So yes, when you are staying alone because of your work related thing, or you're away from your family for a long duration of time, when you talk to them and like he said, the moment his wife used to give the mobile to his daughter, immediately he used to feel happy from inside by just seeing the face. That does happen. That I think all of you must have experienced this thing in your life. Each one of us would have done, especially when you're away from your family for a long duration of time. But that point which Purnima was making, if you are alone, how can you be happy? Well, again, it is a relative term. It will also differ from person to person. But what point Priyanka made, I also agree that ultimately, whether you're alone or whether you're in a group or whether you're in with your family, ultimately your happiness will depend upon your bit, because at times you must have found that people around you are happy, but you feel that emptiness around you. You are not happy from inside. You may be from your appearance, you may be giving that feeling of happiness, but you may not be happy from inside. Similarly, it is vice versa also. At times you find contentment and happiness in a particular situation, but people around you may not find it. So that again is a relative term which will depend from person to person based upon his or her mental state of mind at that particular moment, and other external factors also, like external factors also. So you have to draw a line whether your happiness is dependent on more on external factor or more on your internal factors or inner state of mind. So a person who has got who dependent on internal factor will find happiness in everything more easily. But if a person whose happiness depends upon external factor, that person would find it difficult to remain happy or in a state of happiness all the time. So that is one thing is there. Okay, now Sri Devi has just joined in, so we'll just give her 1 minute to give her point of view. So Sri Devi, just for your, you must have gone through what was we discussed about what does happiness mean to you. Then we talked about is your happiness controlled by you yourself or by external factors or people around you. So before we move on to the next point, what are your views in just one sentence? I would say, what do you think? What is happiness to you? What does happiness mean to you?
Happiness for me is sense of achievement. If I achieve something, small things which I do every day, which gives me happiness that I have achieved this task, or I have completed this task, or completed this goal, or something which enables me to utilize my mind in a productive manner, gives me sense of accomplishment and gives me happiness. And of course, it is both ways. Internal happiness is also there, and if somebody encourages me, if somebody appreciates, then also I feel happy. But I'm more tilted towards getting internal happiness, and all these only these things make me happy, but nothing else.
Okay, thank you, Sridevi. So now let's move on to the next point of our discussion. So this was about ourselves. We were right now till now we were talking about ourselves or me, I would say, the person inside me. So next point is, how can we create happy moments for people around us, whether it is your immediate family, whether your colleague, or whether your community like this we are sitting here. So how can we create happy moments for people around us? Yeah, one minute for everybody. And at the end, when we have more, if we have more time, then we'll give a little more time to Sridevi, because she joined late. So I'm sure she would be full of ideas.
Can I start with this? Can I start?
Okay, so 1 minute right now, and later on, if you have time, we'll give you more time. Okay, yeah, you can start.
Okay. Now this is making me happy. Actually, I think I'm now just trying to put astrological concept. I'm trying to bring in the astrological concept. Actually, every person's happiness is controlled by his fourth house in the chart, which stands for happiness. So if a person is an Aries ascendant, then his happiness is ruled by Taurus. Should I go with it, or should I?
And it's a simple language. Simple language.
चार कर नहीं है हमारा, एक ही कर रहा है.
Astrology, you can take it separately as a separate subject.
So
Yeah,
what I mean is,
only I can understand, Sri.
Yes, you can understand. What I feel is everybody's happiness is ruled by different concepts. Like if suppose somebody wants to be encouraged, somebody wants to be appreciated, somebody wants internal happiness, some student, if I talk about different age levels, then suppose the elders, they have worked somewhere, they have acquired some people who are elders, they have acquired some sort of ego, self-respect. I don't know what is ego and self-respect. Maybe you have got the you have got what I'm trying to say. Elder people, if I give an example, suppose when I'm talking with my colleagues who are much elder than me, who have 15 years of experience, they have acquired some level of ego in their personality. So if we ask for their advices, they feel happy. If and if we're talking about youth, then youth people are someone who are more into taking up actions. So if we tell them to utilize their creativity, their different ways of doing a certain things, then they will feel happy. Children feel happy when they're doing certain activities which makes them happy. Like if I tell my daughter to watch a cartoon program of her choice, then she feels happy. And if she's drawing, and if she's doing something that is thrilling her, that is making her do that activity in a different manner, then also she feels happy.
Yeah,
so
Sridevi, I think you are time out.
Yeah,
Please
thank you, Shri. But Shri, you covered everything in a very nice way. You covered the elders, you covered the youth, you covered the children also very nicely. Yeah, Usha ji, let's see you and listen to your views on this particular aspect.
I'm there and in and out. So happiness के बारे में अगर बोला जाएगा तो like for 40 years, 41 years we have been there. So abhi tak mummy papa, they were taking care and we were very happy. When I started doing things, that's when I feel, how bad a daughter I was. So troublesome. So, really. So what I think is एक balanced way में हम लोगों को सब चीज करना होगा, तो we have to think a lot first. एक thought process होना चाहिए, और thought process thought ही में नहीं रहना चाहिए. We have to implement also. इसीलिए मैं अभी every day I spend something for myself. आजकल बहुत चल रहा है मेरे में कि I want to spend something for myself. I want to go to my childhood, how I was, वो मैं कर रही हूँ. And I also see to it that my kids enjoy a lot, because ये जो time है ना sir, 10th के बाद फिर suddenly college आ जाएगा, I feel that she'll immediately get married, ऐसा सब thoughts आने लगे. So that also I'm thinking.
Okay.
So and everything we have to think. थोड़ा सा planning चाहिए, बस I think it will be successful.
Okay.
ये planning we can see from others also. I've learned a lot from Lucknow, because Lucknow and Chennai is totally different. That's a very interesting story actually. When a child falls down, they say, "Koi baat nahi beta, koi baat nahi." If it is in Chennai, "Ayyo, ennama ke, get her up, on the medicine, this medicine, that medicine," will think. But in Lucknow, I got that positivity a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
तो इस तरह हम लोग किसी और को भी देख के सीख सकते हैं. We who are very successful in life. I'm doing that also.
Yeah. Okay.
Piggybacking others. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Purnima.
I really agree with Usha ji. But the thing is that ego, कुछ लोगों को ego होता है तो वो खुश रहते हैं. So we cannot say that कि हाँ कि ego नहीं करना होगा, तो मतलब their nature is that we cannot compromise with anybody's nature, or you cannot force कि भाई आपको ego है तो निकाल दो ego. We cannot do. If you hurt anybody's ego, he will be sad. So we cannot say about the ego and everything. So it is depend on person to person how they think and what their happiness comes from. So जो सिक्का होता है उसको दोनों side head and tail. So happiness is like head and tail. It comes from other side also, and if you are there, like Priyanka said, it is internal also. So it is both.
Okay.
You should know how to live your happy life.
Okay, fine.
Sir, one more thing, Aditi ji. One more thing I felt very...
Usha, I'll give you a chance.
Yeah, only one word.
Only one word.
It is like you have to appreciate others.
Absolutely. Yes.
Very necessary.
That is very necessary. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, Deepta.
She stole my word. I was about to say that. So we actually should appreciate children. When we appreciate whatever they do, they'll feel happy. Yeah. And if we see, I mean, when we are staying with other people around us, we'll start understanding their nature. When we understand their nature and give them what they need, so then they will be very happy. So that's how we can create happiness around us.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Romaji.
I had made 2 points. One thing was active listening. We should listen to others. That we should have. Listen means not doing errands, काम करते करते सुन रहे हैं, ऐसे नहीं. मतलब उसके पास बैठ के आप किसी बुजुर्ग के पास बैठो, अपने हस्बैंड के पास बैठो, बच्चों के, anybody, if you give time and attention and listen with a smile, that is something which always gives happiness even to a criminal, I would say.
Absolutely.
I believe that by default all human beings are good. That is my basic fundamental. So active listening, giving time, and then appreciation, genuine appreciation.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows where I'm wrong. If you give genuine appreciation, अच्छा उसका अगर बाल ठीक, looks ठीक नहीं है तो आप कहो कि तुम्हारा चाल ठीक है. Find something. So वो उसको पता है कि मेरा ये चीज ठीक है, मतलब ये झूठ नहीं बोल रही है. अगर मैं झूठा तारीफ करूंगी वो भी पता लग जाएगा. So genuine appreciation and listening carefully, other person knows. आप आंखों से सबसे पता लग जाता है ध्यान से सुन रहे कि नहीं सुन रहे. So that these are the two things which are very important, which gives joy, happiness to almost everyone, I think. Almost everyone.
Okay. Yeah, Chakradhar, you have been quiet for a long time.
सर वो आदत नहीं है उस चीज की. Thank you very much. Sir, like as everybody said, डिस्कशन होना चाहिए फैमिली में. और इतने दिन का जॉब और सब करने के बाद 2 साल से एक चीज समझ में आई कि अगर आप लोगों से डिस्कस करते हो, आपने जैसे हमसे पूछा कि हमारा हैप्पीनेस का क्या राज है और क्यों हम लोग हैप्पी रहते हैं, अगर आप फैमिली में भी वही सेम चीज डिस्कस करो या फ्रेंड्स में डिस्कस करो या अपने कलीग से डिस्कस करो, तो कुछ ना कुछ उसका मतलब आदान प्रदान या कुछ ना कुछ यू विल कम टू नो कि हाँ भाई इसका ये रीजन हैप्पीनेस का, और ये देने के बाद वी कुड मेक हिम हैप्पी और आई विल फील हैप्पी, और इफ आई विल फील हैप्पी मे बी ही विल फील हैप्पी. जो भी है दैट यू कैन डिस्कस इट आउट. तो मेरा मेन है कि यू शुड टॉक टू ईच अदर.
थैंक यू. Thank you. Yeah, Arjun, what do you say?
No, I have put that in the comment here.
Okay, live in the present, carry a
Big
smile on your
smile.
face.
Arjun,
If
a big
possible, crack a
smile.
joke
But
on
then
yourself.
we want to hear from your mouth also, because we like your voice. Huh? You won't speak a lot. You should.
Yeah, we should live in our present rather than carrying the baggages from the past.
That is a very important point. Yes.
And always carry a smile. When you smile,
I think my the thing has got frozen. Yeah.
harm others. No, sometimes what happens, no, we offend others by cracking some joke on themselves, right? By joking jokes on others.
Even it is
No matter.
unintentional at times.
Yes. So be cautious, and if you want to bring a laughter within the group, you are the bakra. Tumi bakra bano. And make an attempt to bring smile on others' face.
Yes, that's a very valid point. Yeah, Rahul, you wanted to say.
Overall, what everyone's saying is like to create an environment to be positive and to be happy, basically. So be with your loved ones. If you are away from them, call them frequently, talk to them frequently. And apart from that, it's like watching TV. Don't watch news. That is one of the best thing to create a happiness environment, because recently I rarely watch the news, but in between just 4-5 days back I watched news for 2 minutes, maybe less than 2 minutes, and they were showing some cremation and everything. I really got disturbed, and I just switched off everything. So yeah, these things definitely affect you. So stay away from that. Create an environment which makes you happy. And Radhika is not here, but she mentioned very nice thing, because obviously she is a happiness coach.
Yeah.
So make a list of few contacts which makes you who makes you happy. Obviously, apart from your family, maybe sometimes you can't help. You are down. You are not in sad mood generally. It might happen rarely, but it happens. So that time you need some friends, and I have that friend. Means like without before Radhika saying to me, I was like, अगर down है, बहुत ही problematic है, तो इन दो तीन लोग हैं उनको call करो. It will take away the side portion. So yes, creating the environment of happiness. It is important.
Thank you, Rahul. So now that after we have had views of everyone on various aspects of happiness and how it affects us internally and externally, and how we can create happiness for people around us. So let's come to the last point. We are 12 of us here in this room right now. Actually 13 of us. So we should have 13 tips to remain happy. One tip from each person. 13 tips to remain happy, starting with Priyanka. Yes.
I took
one
because Taki ko dusra na le and I'll be running out of tips. First is conscious living.
Okay. Second, Chakradhar.
Always smiling, sir. You should be always smiling. और वो smile मतलब आप smile करोगे, सामने वाला भी smile करेगा आपके साथ में. So I take that point, and I actually agree with Arjun for that.
Okay. Third, Deepta.
Contentment.
Very nice. Contentment is one thing which resonates with me also. Yeah. Fourth, Romaji.
One second, Colonel ji.
Yeah.
Contentment क्या है? Explain कीजिए ना थोड़ा.
अभी बताते हैं. पहले let's compile the thing, then we'll explain it to you.
एक बार question जरा repeat करना, मैं थोड़ी confused हूँ. मुझे भूल गया.
I said we are 13 of us, and my last point था tips to remain happy. So we need 13 tips from one tip from each person. We got 3 till now, so 4th tip from you.
Yeah, to remain happy, try to help others. Try to help others. It makes you happy.
Very nice. Next, 5th tip.
Can I go?
Sejal.
I have to leave here. Actually, this is connect with your purpose. Like make a purpose which is not only to you. Like for me, like duty in daily life for humanity. That is how. For that, I wanted to give certain system like essence of living something. If you connect something connected to like bigger something, right? That makes us really happy. That don't let you down in whatsoever the environment might be.
Atan, we need one tip, one word.
Purpose. Connect with purpose.
Very, very nice. Yeah, Sejal.
Thank you.
Be in gratitude.
Gratitude. Very nice. Okay. Next, Rahul.
Stay in a happy environment.
Happy environment. Okay. Purnima.
Be awareness.
Awareness. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, Sanjeev Dada.
Mute, you're on mute, Dada.
Maybe be on mute. Be
Nice one.
be in the totality of the now.
Totality of now. Very nice. Okay. Who's left? Yeah. Sridevi. Okay.
Arjun, go ahead.
Have least expectation from others.
Least expectations. Yeah. Sridevi, what did you say?
I didn't say anything. I said I'll be the last one to answer.
You will be the last one. Okay, wait. That's okay. Who's the 11th? Purnima.
He's already said.
She said
I
awareness.
already said.
So who's left?
I said being aware.
Yeah. So who's left? Abhi 10 ही हुए.
Usha.
Oh, she's not here. Usha out हो गई. Okay, Sridevi, you are the last one. Then I'll be the final word.
Okay. You continue.
No, you will give the first.
सर एक लास्ट चीज बोलना है मेरे को, एक लास्ट चीज बोलना है. इतना आपने सारे पॉइंट्स बनाए, उसके अलावा द लास्ट पॉइंट इज पॉजिटिव पीयर ग्रुप लाइक दिस. Positive peer group will make you happy.
Okay. My happiness mantra is do at least one activity every day that resonates your personality, that brings out, that actually is something which is which is very much part of your personality. Like if you love drawing, then you draw. If you like to speak, then you speak. If you like to do gupshup with your friends, do that gupshup. If you like to dance, do dancing.
Sridevi, one word.
Not one word, one
आप
sentence.
श्रीदेवी को बोलेंगे सर one word मतलब one sentence. अगर आप बोलेंगे one sentence मतलब complete para, और आप complete para बोलेंगे तो एक complete story.
Okay. So what I can, if I summarize what Sridevi said is, every day do one good act of kindness or something which will make you happy.
That is your mantra, happiness mantra. Everybody has to formulate his own happiness mantra.
What was your mantra? Tip for happiness.
Do one thing which connects with you. This is what she said.
My happiness mantra is to do my activities keep on changing every day. Okay. So I do activity like at one day I will write, at another day I will read, and at still another day I will dance, and then still another I will sing. This way.
Okay. So basically, do something which makes you, which keeps you connected.
Yeah, doing something you love. It's something you love.
Resonates with you. Fine. So okay. So we had 11. So my last word, or I can't say the final word, of course. So the 11th tip, I would say, 11th tip would be to be happy for what you have today, to be in the present. If you are happy in the present and you don't think about your past, and of course you do plan for your future.
That is repeated, Colonel. It's presence, totality of presence. Da said that.
Naya nikalo fir kuch aur. So I'll say see happiness in happiness of others.
Selflessness.
Selflessness, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone. I found it a very, as I said, experiential learning was my purpose, and it was very nice to have active participation and active contribution from each one of you. And I am sure, like me, all of you must also have gained from each other. And Sridevi, as far you have to book a slot and give us a insight onto the astrology on one of the Sundays, because
Yes, I will do that.
you have to do that.
But
Yeah.
this is a very deep science, as Deepta would know this.
Yeah. So I'm sure what I would say is you will not be able to cover a subject in one thing. So first would be a little just a brief intro, and then later on you can maybe make a series of that thing. But basic thing, layman's language, you will have to do that. So that we'll talk about later. Right now, about the topic of the day. So yeah, Dada, Surajit.
Just half a minute. Two things I think I wanted the group to note. One is,
yes,
your state of happiness affects your environment, including your state of immunity in this COVID kind of situation.
Yes.
Second is, there are some negatives which we didn't talk about, which affect your happiness. They are all very subjective. We talked about positives like attachment, association, sympathy, empathy. All there are some negatives each one has. We should keep them away. Like for me, I am very apprehensive. I get very affected by violence. So one should be conscious of what is the negative vibration which affect you. Keep those away.
Absolutely. So one should be if I understand what Surjit said, is if I am aware about my feelings which affect me both, which make me happy and which make me unhappy. So one has to be very conscious about those things, because they will also affect you. And second thing is how I respond to that particular session. My response is more important than Priyanka.
Violence in thought, action, and words, deeds. I mean, violence in all forms. That means. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not creating the environment. That's like
what I would want to say is since I am from the army, for me violence is it takes a totally different connotation. So okay, so what violence means to you and what violence means to me is totally different. So
that's why I said
if I am doing something as part of my duty, you might find a violence in that also. Similarly, if you find a police wala beating a criminal who has actually done an act which was not right.
So the purpose behind the violence, the intent and the purpose.
Intent
and the purpose.
Intent,
and that's why I said it's very subjective.
Somebody without any reason and rhyme, like for example, initially when they were enforcing lockdown, so they were making murgas of people who was not wearing a mask, and at times they would hit anybody and everybody with a lathi. So again, it varies from I would say situation to situation. And also, of course, in some professions you have to do that. Some profession you can do without violence also. Again, violence can also be not. It is not necessarily be an active act. It can be a silent act also, which can be violent. You not doing something which you have to do is also an act of violence.
And bullying is also, I mean, that is such a mental pressure. It's one of
these days the way we hear so much
people
about
can bully you with their silence. Yes,
absolutely.
Sir, happiness violence की तरफ जा रहा है.
So let us go back to happiness. So before I wind up, I'll just share my screen and start with what I'll repeat with what I started. Just a minute. Just give me 1 second. Okay.
Meanwhile, in the end, can I speak about my this thing, whatever I'll be presenting in the coming session?
Yeah, Shri, I want to add something. We have planned this session for 1 hour. We have already at 7:15.
So what you can do is you can post
Yeah.
in the
Aditya
you can
sir.
post in the group. Okay, you can post in the group. So we what I'll do is I'll to because my Billu.
Aditya sir, we are going to have that session, no? Tanvi Bhatt.
Which one?
That Tanvi Bhatt, 7 p.m.
Tomorrow evening 5:30.
5:30.
It has
It
been
is tomorrow. Okay.
It is being postponed.
Okay, sir, I have to leave because I have a session at 7:30. I have to.
Okay, so we will all wind up. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. I'll share the recording of this, and also I will share the happy song with all of you in our group.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Be happy because of you.
Yes, be happy.
Thank
I
you, sir,
wanted
for
to
such
say
a lovely
something.
session.
Please wait for a minute or two. I wanted to discuss something.
Only minute.
Minute. Whatever I have to present on astrology, is there any free slot this coming Sunday or next Sunday?
No, this Sunday it is with the Sejal. You can see the schedule and you will find whichever Sunday is free, you book it for yourself.
Yeah, just go and see the description, see the schedule.
See in the schedule, in the description, you will find a slot and you can book it. Whichever is vacant, you can book it for yourself.
Second thing is, if you want me to present on astrology, at least I should know your ascendant, everybody of
So
your
what you can do is whatever requirement you have from the people who are going to attend, you can put it in the group. Whatever information you need from everybody for your session, you can put it in the group. We can give the individually or give you a reply and therefore after you can plan it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for the lovely and excellent session. Stay happy and stay safe. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Stay safe.
Stay safe.